Meg furious as Charles backed Charlotte up, got unique title at funeral but ignoring LILI title request. Prince George, 9, and Princess Charlotte, 7, were the youngest mourners following the Queen's coffin as they marched through a nave packed with world leaders in an expression of continuity of the British monarchy. The Queen's great-grandson, who became second in line to the throne after her death on the 8th of September, wore a dark blue suit and black tie as he walked alongside his father, the Prince of Wales, King Charles III's immediate heir. Alongside him walked his younger sister, in a black dress and wide-brimmed hat, and her mother, the Princess of Wales. Charlotte's presence at Westminster Abbey was a reminder of how the Queen's reign ended hundreds of years of male primogeniture in the British monarchy. From 2013, a younger son could no longer displace an elder daughter in the line of succession, meaning that Charlotte is third in line to the throne and her younger brother, Louis, 4, who was not at the funeral, is fourth. The siblings started a new school in Berkshire on the day the nation's longest-serving monarch died. On Monday, they joined the core royal party, behind the King and Queen consort as the Queen's body was borne into the Abbey. The children's role in the hour-long ceremony only emerged on Sunday night and is certain to have been the subject of considerable deliberation. At previous state funerals for monarchs, grandchildren, let alone great-grandchildren, have not typically played a formal role. That change is in part a consequence of the Queen's 70-year reign and long life, but also as part of the current monarchy's desire to project stability to the UK and Commonwealth. 2 days after the Queen's death, the Prince of Wales reportedly told a member of the public on a walkabout at Windsor that they were trying to keep some sense of continuity for them at school and keep things as normal as possible. On Sunday, it was reported that George and Charlotte's presence was suggested by senior palace advisors, with an unnamed official saying George's presence would be desirable if only to reassure the nation of the order of succession. As they entered the Abbey, George glanced around him at the assembled dignitaries and world leaders, while Charlotte peered out from beneath her hat's brim, her mother placing a hand on her shoulder. They were seated alongside their parents in the front row facing the coffin. Charlotte's legs swung beneath her, still too short to reach the Abbey's black and white checkered floor. As Lady Scotland, the Secretary-General of the Commonwealth, read the first lesson from I Corinthians, which asked, "O death, where is thy sting?" A couple of seats along, their great-uncle and aunt, the Earl and Countess of Wessex, wiped their eyes. Further along sat the King, their grandfather, face sombre, mouth downturned, his left hand gripping the handle of his ceremonial sword as he silently read the order of service. At the end of the state funeral, the children stood immaculately as the congregation sang God Save the King. George held his arms by his sides and Charlotte clasped her hands in front of her. They travelled from Westminster to Windsor by car as part of the procession with the Queen's hearse. Travelling with them were Camilla, their step-grandmother, and the Princess of Wales, their mother, ahead of the service of committal at St. George's Chapel at Windsor Castle. In other news, King Charles will reportedly decide on his grandchildren Archie and Lilibet's titles after Prince Harry's memoir, as well as his upcoming Netflix docuseries with Duchess Meghan. Royal biographer Katie Nicholl, via Vanity Fair, said Charles hasn't made any decisions about his grandchildren's titles just yet, saying it depends a lot on what happens in the coming months, particularly with Harry's book and their TV show. Sources close to Charles also say he's committed to mending fences with the Sussexes, and one friend says he is hurt and disappointed, but he has always said his love for Harry is unconditional. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex have not commented on the situation publicly, but a source recently told The Sun that Harry and Meghan were worried about the security issue, and being prince and princess brings them the right to have certain levels of royal security. There have been a lot of talks over the past week. Meghan and Harry were said to be insistent that Archie and Lilibet are prince and princess, but have been left furious that their kids cannot take the title HRH. Archie and Lilibet, as per the agreement, can be prince and princess but not HRH because they are not working royals, HRH because they are